Miami Dolphins, just a little background on them. Really good unit. I know I say that every week, but you're facing another Pro Bowl returner in the Barrios kid. The Bailey kid he's a good punter. Sanders obviously has been really good in this league for a long time. And then just kind of when you watch their core guys play, big, strong, and fast, you can kind of see what their team is. That's obviously their identity on offense, and it translates onto their special teams unit. So with that, I'll answer any questions.
DiCaprio got promoted to the 53. You've used him the last 3 weeks, and he's played exclusively on special teams. How has he kind of grabbed your attention? What has he done since?
You know, he was a pickup for us right there, and after camp, and he's been a guy. He runs well. He's a good football player. He can play multiple positions, and really even, as you kind of say, corner body, smaller body type, but yet he can play big. He's been a real, I wouldn't say pleasant surprise. That's what we saw on tape when we got him from Kansas City, and he just kind of keeps getting better. He's a young player that I think that the ceiling is still way up there.
You've kind of found a role for DJ Johnson on special teams. What have you seen from him so far?
Last few weeks, he's played well. He's playing physical, and the thing that I really like about DJ, I think that we're trying to play him in spots that kind of translates into his outside linebacking world. And he's accepted that and has really taken a lot of pride in that. So hopefully he just kind of keeps getting better each week.
He was saying that he really likes contact. Obviously he's got that straight line speed, but from a physicality standpoint, what does he bring to the table?
Well, he showed a lot of physicality last week when playing Detroit, and I know I talked a lot about Detroit's core, and they were very physical, really good. But he did really well on kick return, just playing physical, getting in the doubles, and then just finishing blocks. That's where I was really pleased. I saw, I said it on the headset. I said, you know, our little young player, I said, there's a look in his eye today that he's getting better and he's growing. So I was very excited to see that, and hopefully we can build on that this week.
You have the benefit now of coaching Sam Franklin for a couple of seasons. How is he different today than when you first started with him?
I think Sam is probably, that's a great question. He's always believed in himself, but I think now he has video evidence of what he can do. And I think for any player, I think all players have confidence in themselves, but I always like to say, what's the tape say in the video evidence? And he has that. And I think the other thing that's allowed, as coaches, with that video evidence, if he doesn't play to that level, then you can say, hey, let's step it up, because I know you can do that because you've shown me you can do that. And the one thing about Sam, he will always take a challenge and go with it. So that's what I've always loved about him.
What does the tape say?
Tape says that obviously he's a competitor, but you know, like in our world, for us especially, kind of a lot of the little tricks of the trade, just what he does with his hands and his feet, and even his eyes to set things up. You're starting to see a player kind of take some of those game within the game tricks and apply them. And then obviously, you know, I'm proud of him, how he's doing on defense, and I know that he'll keep getting better with the more reps. As I always say, for a young player, the more you play, the better you're going to get.
How do you handle bye week in terms of self-scouting? Is there some things you like to do every year?
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you, I try to do my self-scout. I like to look at myself on Thursday and Friday and put myself in the other coordinator's seat. How would I view our team? So I hopefully am staying up on things like that. The bye week, I try to stay in a normal rhythm because it's kind of, it's Groundhog Day for me. And then when you don't have the game, you feel a little off. But I try to make sure that I'm going to stay with my normal Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll look at ourselves. I'll look at the next opponent and get ahead, because you know, it is a long season, and if you can knock out some of the work for the following week, that's always a good thing.
So you're going to sleep in a hotel, get on a bus Sunday morning, just to kind of keep things in rhythm?
Keep things in rhythm. I probably will not do that. Looking forward to being with the family.
I wanted to ask you, going back to Google, you were talking about seeing the things they saw on tape as a corner. What's different in things they might see in him as a corner versus what you see in him as a special teams player when you watch tape?
Believe it or not, it's all the same, because I'm watching football movements. I'm watching how guys come up and, you know, if you're talking about defensive play, how does he come up and support the run? and then you can translate that into your special teams world, whether that be kickoff coverage or punt return or whatever. And then I'm always looking for skill sets. And so like when, we have our special teams period at the beginning of practice, and then during practice, and when I'm watching guys and I'm watching how the offense and defense are using players, then I'm just looking for certain things that those guys are doing. And you say, man, he can do that. We ought to try to maybe use him in our world doing this because of that. I know it's very, very vague, but that's how I kind of view players.
You just said you're looking for skill set. Deshaun Jameson, with what he did in college, is there any chance at him getting a look at returning kicks?
We are working him. He's been catching, and I always like to say he just needs to keep catching right now. But that's a player that we're excited that's here. That was another nice pickup by the front office. He had the opportunity to play a lot on defense last week. He's played for us on special teams, and then we're bringing him along in the return area. As I told him, obviously, if you can do those things, you're just adding value to your game, which is always important for any organization.